Hi, for most of the parents who know me, because our grade is 50 people. I'm Matt. I'm a senior. And so for me, the Israel trip is my third time going to Israel. And most of the time I've gone, like, obviously with my either good friends. I haven't gone with my family yet. But each time I've gone, it's like, as like I've matured as a person, the experiences I've had going to Israel and at Israel have increasingly and proportionally matured and been more like powerful, and I think like adultish or life experiences. Staying with a kid who's actually was a year younger than me in Kiryat Gat, I thought was really like something I never thought of was kind of like the suburbish life or like the civilian life of like kids my age in Israel. And I thought really the Diller program, which is who we partnered with, was more focused on like having pro-Israel and like Israel support, like that type of program. But I found out quickly that Diller is more focused on relationship building between Israeli youth and American diaspora youth, American kids, like, and my friends. Staying at the house was really, it was like I would be lying if I said it was a culture shock, because like I go to a Jewish school. I've learned about Israel. I've been to Israel before, but it's like an experience that I think is incredibly necessary, like, because Israel is oftentimes an incredibly polarizing and like very tough subject to speak about, like between friends, between people who really are passionate about Israel. And I think a lot of the time what's lost between like people who are completely pro-Israel, people who are very against the idea of Israel, people who are very in support of Palestine, is like the civilians in Israel really who are just living there, who aren't really experiencing, like, they aren't really, like, their life isn't completely defined by that conflict, by like going to school every day, by like taking AP classes. And like the person I stayed with, he lives with his grandparents, so both of them didn't speak English whatsoever, so I actually got to sharpen my Hebrew skills. Thank you, Gaveret, if you're watching. But it was really like, we woke up, or had tea, like ate Israeli food. I mean, like the manner in which like kind of like he lived his life, you could tell it was very comfortable and very like similar to my American life in many ways, but also there are just like keen differences that I really appreciated. Something that I really valued about our relationships between the programming and the time I spent in Kiryat Gat and with the Israeli kids was really kind of just like building those relationships and like experiencing, because I think what a lot of the Diller program was about and what it seemed to be about was just like the relationship and the experience. And I know that like as of now, like I'm going into finishing senior year, and I really am very unsure of like my next step. But I think the prospect of really like going into Israel and being a part of that civilian everyday life, like being a part of that community that really you don't get to experience unless you're a part of it as like a person living in Israel, I think really not only like intrigues me, but is something that I would love to do. And really like staying in Kiryat Gat and meeting those kids my age and a year younger than me really like empowered me, and also kind of brought up the question as to like, what is my role, not only as like an American supporting Israel in the diaspora, but also like what can my role be in Israel. And it doesn't have to be as someone who's like aggressively supporting Israel, someone who's incredibly like involved politically and like in organizations in the US, but like it is in my power to go get my Israeli citizenship, and it's in my power to come here and be here. And I think staying in Kiryat Gat really was empowering in that aspect of me allowing me following that path. So thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.